Hi, and welcome to this at-home guide to digital learning session on accessing a Google Meet. Google Meet is a video conferencing platform that we use in the Delta School District for teachers to meet with students and teachers to meet with teachers. The important part of being a part of one of these conferences or video conferences is that students or teachers sign in using a Delta Learns account. And so our Delta Learns G Suite for Education accounts are the only ones that can be used in order to join a meet or create a meet. All right, so let's quickly take a look at this from the student's perspective. So here I am in at meet in a meet, which is found in the waffle. So if we needed to find a meet, in this case, well, let's just quickly go to the waffle. We'll find the meet application. We'll click on that. So I'm just going to switch. I'm going to make sure that I'm in a student's account. So I just need to switch accounts here. Oops. Select Harvey's account. And you'll see that a student's account does not allow them to create meetings. It only allows them to join. So if a student was to try to create a meeting, so let's just call it Tech 123, continue. You can see on the bottom lower left-hand corner, it says you're not allowed to start a meeting. The only way they can join a meeting is with a code that's been shared by their teacher. We call this a nickname. So the teacher will share this with them in some manner. Or if the teacher is using Google Classroom, they may put a link in their Google Classroom. Now, students can only join this link, again, if a teacher is there. So if I was in Harvey's case, if he tried to go there, here we go. The meeting code you entered doesn't work because the teacher is not yet there. So the teacher needs to enter the meet before a student. So I'm just going to close some of these tabs. So here's a meet, and this time I'm going to just switch accounts one more time, but I'm going to be in a teacher's account. We're going to call this one Tech Help 1. So here I am, and you can see in a teacher's account, there's no restrictions for creating a meet. So we're going to create a meet. So in this case, I'm going to call it Tech Help 123. So I'm going to continue. And so then remember, this is on the teacher side. So the teacher would have shared this Tech Help 123 with the students so that they could also join. So the teacher would join. And there's the teacher. The teacher is in there. All right. There we go. And now the student would be using that same code. So here I am in Harvey's account, and Harvey's going to use the same code. Help 123 and continue. And we can see that the teacher's already there. Now, prior to Harvey joining, we recommend that students turn off their camera and mute their mic. Then they can join. Now we can see that the teacher is in there. That's the T for the Tech Help person. And then on the top right, any classmates that have joined will be visible by clicking on this button here. There is a chat that is ongoing that should be used just for educational purposes and what the class is about. You can just close that up as well. Then at the bottom, we have 3 stacked dots. Here we can change the layout, go to full screen. We can even turn captions on. So any words that are spoken by anyone in the meet will provide a speech to text closed caption at the bottom of the screen. Unfortunately, that is not recorded during this session right now as it's not captured, but students can read along if they can't clearly understand what's being said. All right. Then there's some settings around the mic and the camera, basically turning them on and off. There's another option for turning closed captions on here. On the far left, we can see the code for the meet. And then the other option here is the present now. And so a teacher may ask a student to present something to the rest of the class, and they click on the present now. And when they can either select an entire screen or a window. So when they click on this, they'll be given options of what to show. And they can click on what it is that they want to show. and then the entire class will see that. The teacher will ask students to unmute themselves, so the teacher will obviously not be muted, and when a student is asked to unmute themselves, they'll just move their cursor to the center and down, and then they can unmute themselves by clicking on this button. At the end of the meet, students should all leave the meet by hanging up, not by just closing the browser, but by hanging up. Hanging up means leaving the call. Harvey has now left the call. The teacher will then be the last one to leave the meet, and the teacher will now see that no one is left, and then they will leave the meet. So there's a quick introduction to Google Meet and how it's used as an effective video conferencing tool.